There's always been a certain sparkle in Ringo Starr's eye. That same glint you'd find in a well-timed cymbal crash or a perfectly placed fill. As the beloved drummer of the Beatles, Ringo provided more than rhythm. He brought character, warmth, and a sense of grounded fun. But beyond the fame, behind the iconic mop top and the peace and love persona lives a man whose passion for music runs deep. His favorite bands? They're more than just a playlist. They're pieces of his soul, each one a chapter in his extraordinary journey. Number 5. Long before Abbey Road and Shea Stadium, there were sweaty nights in Liverpool clubs and raucous shows in Hamburg. And at the center of it all was a young Richard Starkey, not yet Ringo, pounding the skins for Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. This wasn't just any local group. They were stars of the Mersey beat scene, and Rory Storm, with his wild energy and magnetic stage presence, was its heartbeat. For Ringo, this band was more than a gig. It was a proving ground. He wasn't just learning how to drum, he was learning how to perform. The Hurricanes played loud, fast, and often, building endurance and camaraderie in the crucible of post-war rock and roll rebellion. Hamburg's gritty Kaiser Keller Club became a kind of rock and roll boot camp, where long nights demanded resilience and creativity. It was here that Ringo honed his style, steady, inventive, and always in service of the song. He may have left the Hurricanes behind in 1962, but the lessons stayed with him forever. Number 4. Joining the Beatles wasn't just a career move, it was a life-altering leap into legend. And yet, to Ringo, it wasn't about the charts or the screaming fans, it was about being part of something bigger than himself. From day one, the chemistry between the Fab Four was undeniable. Lennon's sharp edge, McCartney's melodic instincts, Harrison's spiritual depth. Together, they created a sound that reshaped popular music. But it wasn't all genius and harmony. Ringo joined a band already on the rise, and yet he instantly became the missing piece. His drumming, often underestimated, was intuitive, musical, and subtly brilliant. He gave the Beatles groove, personality, and humor, both in the studio and off stage. Even decades after their breakup, Ringo speaks of the Beatles with deep affection. Not just as former bandmates, but as brothers. He's quick to praise their individuality and creativity, always acknowledging the unique magic they created together. For Ringo, the Beatles weren't just his band, they were his family. Number 3. By the late 60s, fame had begun to weigh heavily on the Beatles. The noise, the pressure, the endless expectations, it was a lot to carry. In that whirlwind, Ringo found solace in a very different kind of group, the band. Originally Bob Dylan's backing musicians, the band forged their own identity with the release of music from Big Pink, a rootsy, heartfelt album steeped in Americana. For Ringo, their music felt like home. There was something deeply honest about their songs, raw harmonies, stripped-back instrumentation, and storytelling that evoked simpler times. They weren't trying to impress, they were just making music that mattered. Ringo admired their unity. There were no flashy egos or frontmen jockeying for attention. Like a well-oiled machine, the band functioned as a whole. That democratic spirit struck a chord with Ringo, who often preferred collaboration over competition. In the band, he saw the kind of creative balance he longed for in his post-Beatles world. Number 2. In the decades following Beatlemania, Ringo watched the world of rock evolve, sometimes chaotically, sometimes beautifully. Among the newer generation of rockers, one band stood out to him, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Petty's music had a timeless quality, melodic, heartfelt, and always authentic. His songs weren't about excess, they were about experience. And Ringo appreciated that. But it wasn't just admiration from afar. Petty was a close collaborator, notably as a member of the Travelling Wilburys alongside George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne, and Roy Orbison. Through George, Ringo got to know Petty well. He admired his work ethic, his grounded nature, and his ability to blend classic rock sensibilities with modern sounds. The Heartbreakers carried the torch of rock forward without losing the fire of its roots. For Ringo, they represented the best of what rock could still be, soulful, sincere, and unafraid to evolve. Number 1. While Ringo could have easily coasted on his Beatles legacy, he chose something bolder: to keep playing, keep creating, and most of all, to keep sharing. In 1989, he launched the All-Starr Band, a rotating supergroup of musical legends, all hand-picked by Ringo himself. The concept was simple: take great musicians, give them a stage, and let everyone shine. Over the years, the All-Starr Band has included the likes of Joe Walsh, Dr. John, Billy Preston, Sheila E., Todd Rundgren, and Steve Lukather. Each tour is a unique celebration of musical joy. Hits from every artist, played with love and camaraderie. For Ringo, this band is more than just a project. It's a reflection of who he is. There's no hierarchy, no ego, just mutual respect and the joy of performance. It's his way of saying that the magic of music never fades, and the spirit of collaboration is eternal. Ringo Starr's favorite bands aren't just a collection of names. They're markers of moments, friendships, and artistic growth. From the smoky clubs of Liverpool to stadium stages around the world, each band left a distinct imprint on his musical DNA.